What up, YouTube? G4 Leader here, video number 2 for the day. This video pretty much is going to be me addressing, do I find UFC and MMA more popular than boxing, better than boxing, just all around, do I find it better than boxing? And the answer to that question is, yeah, I find it better than boxing because, and don't get me wrong, I'm a boxing fan, I love boxing. I mean, I watched it like almost all my life, so don't think I'm just saying this because I don't like boxing. I love boxing, but I also love MMA and what the UFC is doing for it, you know. I mean, the thing with boxing is so, I mean, the thing that makes, well, in my opinion, keep it fact, this is my opinion, what makes UFC more popular than boxing is because it's more exciting, you know, and more dynamic. When I say that is, you will see more variety of things. In boxing, you just see hand-to-hand, you know, punching. That's all you'll see, you know, bobbing and weaving. You know, it's a very limited form of fighting, very, very limited. You don't see, that's all you see is punching, it's limited. But with UFC and MMA, you know, you'll see knees, elbows, kicks. You will see like, you will see a lot more. You know, you'll see a lot more aspects of fighting. If you're a fan of fighting, you love to see a good fight, I suggest you watch UFC over boxing because you want to see a good scrap, you know. Watch the UFC. Boxing, you ain't going to see a fight, you're going to see it. It's more of a gentleman's sport, you know, like an agreement. We only going to use our hands. It's more of a gentleman's, you know. But if you're looking for a good fight, you know, like between who's a better fighter, who's a better competitor, you know, who's the better man, you know, watch the UFC. You know, people say that boxing takes more discipline. I mean, I don't find that to be true, you know. I think UFC have more takes more discipline because there's more aspects you gotta cover. You can't just go in there being a boxer. You can't go in there just being a kickboxer. You can't go in there just being a wrestler or have a judo background. You gotta have all of those aspects covered. You gotta have a good ground game. You gotta have a good strike. You gotta be a good striker. You gotta have good takedown defense too. You gotta know submissions. You gotta be able to guard against submissions. You know, you gotta have all these aspects covered to make it in this sport of MMA. While boxing, you don't gotta be good at anything except for just a good striker. That's it. So, like I said, it takes more time to learn multiple aspects of fighting rather than just one aspect of fighting. So pretty much, I do believe UFC and MMA is the future, you know, and boxing is the past, and boxing is kind of falling back, you know, while the UFC gains more popularity, you know, because like I said, the new generations like myself, we rather see not no holds barred fight, but we rather see more aspects than just boxing. Like we want to see more than just that. So like I said, when new upcoming generations that like sports, they're gonna want to see more, and the UFC and MMA, they provide more. So in my personal opinion, yes, the UFC is better. Yes, the UFC and MMA better than boxing. And to all the boxing fans out there, I'm sorry. I mean, keep in mind, I do love boxing. Don't get me wrong, I love boxing. I'll always be a fan of it. But right now, the UFC is at the top of my list right now. So that's just my opinion. Thank you for watching. Which do you like below? Tell me how you feel about both sports. Hit me down below in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. Please subscribe. I need subscribers. Thank you. I'm out.